Thanks for joining me. Emmanuel Chamantingeja, Member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wogon constituency, is in the studio. We'll be having some discussions with him. And we know that foremostly, for example, on the front page of the Daily Guide, Angel Obinim supporters on rampage over cock and bull story. And I told you earlier that the cock and bull phrase is coming from his lawyer, Atachia. It says a swarm of Bishop Daniel Angel Obinim supporters yesterday charged on the premises of the CID at police headquarters here in Accra, as the officers used also water cannons and baton charges to dispel them, though very much unsuccessfully. And no sooner had a police charge on them, they also returned subsequently. But we know there have been concerns raised about how long he's been kept, etc. What's your view on this, sir? Especially this has run the full course the last 3 days. It's been the most topical, if not from the last week.
Very well. Thank you for having me.
And good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're on recess, aren't you?
Yes.
You're free, okay. Today we'll have lunch after. I think that'll be great.
Very well.
All right.
Very well. Thanks for the offer.
Obinim.
You are a gentleman. Let me say good morning to viewers, most especially to my my constituents, the good people of Ayawaso West Wogon. Legon has reopened and all the students are trickling in. I wish them a good, I take this opportunity to welcome all of them. I've been going around welcoming them. But if you permit me, I heard when I was coming here that the pastor at my local congregation, the Grace congregation in Westlands, the Grace Presbyterian congregation, Professor Cephas Omenyo is the new moderator of the Presbyterian Church. Yes.
He pastors your flock?
Yes.
Wow. Congratulations.
I am so excited about it. I am so excited for him.
How is he like?
Oh, perfect Christian.
Okay.
Good gentleman. And Professor Otrikwa, Inno Sani Omotuno, Mauni Jomo, Mauni Bamo, ne Sano Pe, ne Wasolema, Dassin, Pion, Mauni Hamuhiwa, no pay. At the end of your tenure, everybody will say the Presbyterian Church has grown under your leadership.
Mochum.
God bless you.
Mochum.
Obinim, first and foremost, let me say, place on record, that I don't believe his theology. I don't believe the things he preaches. I don't believe his acts and actions. But I completely disagree with the way he's being treated.
How is he being treated?
You know, it is said, I haven't seen the video, I didn't bother to look at it.
We can show you some.
It's
needless.
Needless.
Okay.
I think that I hear that he flogged some people in his church.
2 teenagers, a male and a female.
You know, it's a very dicey situation. All of us flog our children. Maybe we don't do it in the public space. And people do the things, I just want to say that, people do the things he said to have done, maybe privately and not publicly. I completely disagree that he did that. But I think that there must be some due process in all of this. Today, the matter has even moved away from the fact that he flogged 2 young people in his church, the fact that somebody gave him 11.6 million cedis worth of, was it money or gold or something? What worries me is that it is said that this matter was reported last year. The man is here. He does things and he's in the news every day. So are they saying that since the time the matter was reported, they couldn't find him? Why do we want to mix up the things together? I think that judicial, police system, public security, public safety system must straighten up a little. Really and truly, must straighten up a little. Look, the man was invited to the police station. What I have heard is that he walked himself to the police station. He was not arrested under, so quote unquote, a bench warrant. He walked himself to the police station. he was asked to be transferred from one police station to another. Then all of a sudden you put this man in handcuffs, and I think it is so wrong. He's not a criminal.
How can you say that?
No, even for the things he did, my understanding is that it's a misdemeanor.
The flogging.
Yes. It's a misdemeanor. Why do you want to humiliate a man who walked into the police station himself?
Mr. Chairman, are you speaking on the basis of the fact that you think that because of his reputation, he's a public person, and well, whether his actions or inactions are something that are controversial or not, because of who he is, he shouldn't be treated the way he's being treated?
You see, I think that it doesn't matter who he is, whether you are high or you are low. What you get must be commensurate with what. I mean, if you have a hardened, toughened criminal,
then you treat him that way?
Yes.
Where in the law does it say that if you're not a toughened criminal, you shouldn't be handcuffed?
I don't know. But you see, I am saying that if the man walks there, do you need to treat him like he's a toughened, hardened criminal? You only treat a toughened, hardened criminal because he will break jail, he will escape. There was a shootout before you
Granted,
arrested
all these
him.
things that you're saying are true. It still doesn't mean that it's not within the rights of the police and their operations.
I can't even say, I am not even talking about the rights. I think that they must have a practice.
It's not untoward for the police. That's my position.
I hold the position that I think that it was excessive. I hold the position. Not to say, let me repeat that, I don't believe the things he does. I don't believe, I mean, I've watched videos where he stamping on the tummy of a pregnant woman. I think that is even worse than the so-called flogging of the children. Okay. You understand me? I have seen it. That is why I'm not even too keen about seeing this.
Do you believe in corporal punishment? I think it's for disciplining children.
Me, I'm the son of a school teacher. I can show you marks on my legs.
So that's why I asked you, do you believe in corporal punishment?
To a certain extent. To a certain extent, yes. To a certain extent.
That's why you think that him...
Yes, I'm a Christian. The good book of the Christians, the Bible says that stupidity is attached to the heart of a child. It takes a cane to take the stupidity away from the child.
Of course, and the same Bible also says, spare the rod and spoil it.
Spare the rod and spoil the child.
Well, fine.
I say I am what I am today because my mother, may her good soul rest in peace. She will not countenance it.
Well, the Bible says this.
My mother will. I mean, she told us when we were growing up that when there's a case between an elderly person and a young person, he won't even ask you.
Well, the Bible says.
I say on my thigh here, I will show you.
There's a scar?
Yes.
Okay.
But because of that, I know that I don't even want it to be reported to my mother.
Well, the Bible says all these, but
yeah,
but if it infringes the law, it infringes the law.
Which you see, I think that this morning I was listening to some discussion. Punishment is not the same as torture.
No.
I think we must draw a clear distinction between punishment and torture. I will not put my son's hand in fire or water because he stole fish from the soup. But I will warn him, I will pull his ears, and I will flog him if he continues. I will flog.
As a way of principle.
Yes.
Okay, by principle. All right. So now he's being represented by Tachia. He's a legal practitioner. Of course, he's a member of parliament as well. But he seemed also to have now veered or meandered into all this conspiracy theory about this being an issue of the police trying to drag this to cover the controversy of the president having remitted the sentences of the Muntie 3. I mean, of course, that's a wide conspiracy theory. What do you think?
Can there be basis? There can be basis. Today, you said it. What is topical? It has become the topical thing. Well, but there are more pressing issues of state. Let the police deal with Obinim. Let the law deal with Obinim, not police. Let the law deal with him appropriately. Obinim has nothing to do with what I eat. It has nothing to do with whether the hospital will take my national health insurance card. It has nothing to do with how much I'm paying for petrol. It has nothing to do with how much we are paying for electricity. It has nothing to do with how my sister Yabedu is, she said I should greet you.
Thank you.
It has nothing to do with how my sister Yabedu is suffering school fees now.
Where is she working now?
Yeah, she's working now.
Still at the place you said?
Yeah, on Lagos Avenue.
Yeah, we do.
Her children's school fees are up.
Yeah, we do.
And Yabedu is confused. He called me this morning and said, well, for it to be any day. You understand? Obinim's matter has nothing to do with it.
And so that would be a diversion.
Absolutely. Let's not waste the public space. Let's not waste the public discourse on this man.
Conspiracy theory, don't you think?
I say, let us not waste the public space.
Okay.
Let us not waste the public discourse space on Obinim. If he has wronged, let it be dealt with appropriately.
Do you know the president has been touring the Northern region over the last 3 days?
Yes, I hear so.
And yesterday he's been saying a lot of things.
What did he say?
Well, he said Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, your flag bearer of your party, is a very divisive figure.
Did he say that?
Yes, based on his actions, almost being equated to a dictator. I mean, the president is saying this on the campaign.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he did.
President John Dramani Mahama.
For example, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, according to President John Dramani Mahama, has supervised over...
It's okay, it's okay.
Oh.
You see, our dear president, His Excellency the President, in his 2012 manifesto, he told Ghanaians there were 4 thematic areas he will accomplish in his term, in his second term as president. He talked about taking care of people. He talked about sound economy. He talked about
creating jobs. Creating jobs.
Yeah, he talked about
you said creating jobs.
Infrastructure, and he talked about good governance, no corruption. This is what His Excellency the President must be going to the good people of Ghana in his campaign to tell them.
But who says he's not saying that? Perhaps the media is speaking.
You are telling me today that he is going around saying that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is a divisive character. Look, when the man went to Western region, I mean, I am so disappointed.
In who?
His Excellency the President's campaign. When he went to Western region, all he wants to tell them is that the MPP overthrew Kwame Nkrumah, so vote for me. That's all he wants to tell them.
No, but that's not the only thing he went to say. He said that roads have been constructed and that your flag bearer perhaps
I said, did he tell them? Did he tell them? He told the first point in his theme was that their lives will improve. Did he tell them about their improved lives? He went and said, I don't know why he went to say this, that national health insurance is working, so it is don't mind MPP. The elders have a saying, it is they that sit by the fire who knows how much it burns them. It is they that sit by the fire who knows how much it burns them. His Excellency the President, if you go and stand in either Tamale or you stand in Salaga and say this, the people who go to Salaga Hospital every day, when they go, the word they use for them is that cover. It does not cover. He goes and says that 29 million people have registered. I have one. I left my wallet in my car.
You have registered?
I have registered. Today I must go and take an injection in my shoulder. The doctor wrote a prescription. Go and buy it.
Because you don't go to a type of hospital that would...
I went to Kolebu.
You are bourgeois.
I went to Kolebu.
So you are bourgeois.
Kolebu is not for... So Kolebu is for bourgeoisies. I went to Kolebu.
But it cannot be that by 2008 we had an OPD attendance in excess of national health insurance about 9 million, and now we have 29 million. It cannot be that the scheme has collapsed, is it?
You see, 29 million. Let me tell you, and I want your media organization to find out. You will go to the hospital. They will, even today, when you go to most of the hospitals, you have to pay for your card. People will go and pay for their cards. Consultation is free. Every medicine they will tell you, go to the pharmacy and buy. When you go to the pharmacy in Kolebu, they will say it's not there. So you have to go and buy. People must take care of themselves. I hear that he was saying that in 2005, the payment was 135
So you're saying
million.
all these, the president rather should have said, instead of saying Nana Addo is divisive.
I mean, I will come to that.
You haven't.
I will come to that. Today it has become a monologue, hasn't it? So let's continue. Like last week it did. It's not interesting. I think that we must have a dialogue. The good people of this country want to hear the debate.
Yeah, I'm sure my producer
I would suggest to you that you should invite the NDC parliamentary candidate for Ayawaso West Wogon. We will make a fine pair.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be Dr.
He's not doctor. He's
okay.
Mr. Delali Kwesi Brampo. You should invite him.
All right.
The point I am making.
And so the president saying that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is a divisive figure is not true.
What was his basis? What was his basis for saying that?
He said that officials of the party had been hauled of their positions.
But the matter went to court. What did the court say? Look, let me tell you, Paul Afoko is my personal friend.
He is?
He's my very good friend.
You didn't commiserate with him for all the difficulties he's been through?
I say he is my personal friend. I speak to him. But the matter went to court. The court of competent jurisdiction said that the party was right. So what is the man saying? Has he forgotten, Mr. John Dramani Mahama? Has he forgotten his own party? Has he forgotten?
What's happened?
Out of that NDC, there has been a National Reform Party. There has been a, what was Obed Asamoah's party's name? I don't remember.
DFP.
DFP. There has been a DFP. Out of his own party. Today, the wife of the founder of the party, the wife, the Magajia of NDC, has broken out and formed her own party. That party that calls its founder, and that founder clause is in their constitution. That party calls their founder a barking dog who has been tamed. You talk about divisiveness. I said, let me tell you personally, I was quite unhappy about Afoko. But the court, it is not what I think. A court, a high court, a court of competent jurisdiction has said that it was right.
It was procedural.
Procedural.
So you have no problem. Even though you may not, you were not happy.
Mr. President, what are you talking about? I say, look in your Diufiasam, in your party has bred 3 political parties. National Reform Party, DFP, and NDP. Your party, today, come on. But you see, I am saying that His Excellency the President has nothing to tell the good people of this country. So when he goes to Western region, the region of Nkrumah, all he can tell them is that it is the MPP that overthrew Nkrumah. The MPP came into force June 1992. June 1992. Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown in 1996.
1966.
1966. Maybe he wants to say that the antecedent, maybe. But and so what? So who overthrew Liman? So then he should go to Sisala and tell them who overthrew Liman.
Do you know the Reverend Father Andrew Campbell?
Yes, I know him.
He's a trustee
he's a man I respect.
He's a trustee of the Lepers Aid Committee. I've worked with him several times on many other things. Okay. He seemed to be, especially in this position working with the poor, seemed to think that the National Health Insurance scheme works. And if the president also
say it works, he didn't say, I have read the story.
Have you read the story?
He is not saying, he is saying that it is a useful intervention.
Okay, it says, I see its work when I go to Wager with people who cannot afford health care. I want you to continue to do this. And he was interacting with officials of the National Health Insurance Authority. Yeah. I don't know how you can tell me differently.
You see, let me state that Reverend Father Campbell, I believe, is a man who he's a worthy man.
Yeah, he's a Scot. He's not a Ghanaian.
I will not even want to draw him into our local politics. I want to believe that I have read the story. It does not present as such.
Would you say he's lying?
No, I'm not saying.
No, you say it doesn't present. So would you say he's lying then?
I insist that this is a misreport. is that how you say it, the English language?
Misreporting.
Yeah, I think so. Look,
Of
the National Health Insurance, a health insurance scheme, I want to say without equivocation that the introduction of the National Health Insurance Scheme was the greatest social intervention, pro-poor intervention that ever happened in this country. Take it or leave it.
But the president is arguing.
I am saying
that it's grown. Contrary to suggestions.
But I am saying, in 2005 that he talks about, that the payment was 135 million, and today the payment is 1 billion. In 2005, the budget of this country was less than 10 billion. It was maybe 6 or 7 billion. 2.5% of that, of the revenue. And today the budget is 50 billion. In fact, it has even been revised to close to 52 billion. 2.5, naturally. The collections in 2005 when it started, it's not the same collection.
So you corroborate with the president.
That what?
That the scheme has improved.
I am saying that the money, yeah, this economy has grown.
Yeah, good. So the scheme too has grown.
Yeah, so it is not.
So why are you arguing on the contrary, Mr. Chairman?
That the thing is not working.
Yes.
Oh, as for that, there are two completely separate issues. So, I am saying that what is the funding source?
You mean,
Roland? What is the funding source? 2.5% and the collection from Smith. I am saying that if in 2005 government revenue was 6 billion, 2.5% of that. Today, government revenue from taxes may be 30 billion, 34 billion, 2.5% of that. So just by virtue of the fact that the budget is growing, the money available to the National Health Insurance will grow. It is not magic. I am saying on authority that in spite of that growth, National Health Insurance is 8 months behind. 8 months behind.
But that's normal.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
What should it be?
It should be 3 months.
I did.
Look, I am in Parliament. The National Health Insurance people themselves will come and say that sometimes the collection has been effected.
They tell you the MPs?
Oh, but this one, it is not. When the transfers are made, you can know. It is not state secret. It is not rocket science. Sometimes it is the lag between the collection and the transfer. The collection is when they take the taxes, and the transfer when they take the money from the consolidated fund into the National Health Insurance Fund. Sometimes it's 4 months because government, even though they have collected the taxes, can't find the money. They have used it for something else. There have been people who have argued that the 2.5% must go directly to the National Health Insurance. I completely disagree. I think that the essence of the consolidated fund must remain. But I maintain that when you collect the money, pay it to them. So you see, as for His Excellency the President saying that, I think that he should rather go and tell the people what he has done with corruption, what he has done with improving their lives, and what he has done with a sustainable and a robust and resilient economy. I will admit that there has been, I am not blind. I will admit that there has been some infrastructural development. The man promised us 4 things. He has delivered partly on 1. When you mark a test, when you have 4 questions and you write an exam with 4 questions,
let me ask
and
you
answer 1 question,
let me ask
it is
you
25%
based on
at the best.
that analogy about questioning, how would you mark the president on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, the best I can give him is, you see, I am saying there are 4 questions. The man has answered 1 question. Even that 1 question, he promised.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Let me finish. Let me establish.
Over 10, how much would you give him?
You see, for instance, on the issue of infrastructural development, His Excellency the President stood before us in Parliament and said that at the end of his term, he would have built 200.
1 to 10, how much would he
He would have built 200 schools.
We know about that story.
How many has he built?
Oh, we know.
How many has been inaugurated? Let us assume, I want to be charitable. I want to be charitable and say that His Excellency the President has inaugurated 20 of the schools. 20 over 10, 20 over 200, 10%.
On a scale of 1 to 10?
1.8.
1.8 over 10, not even 2 over 10.
No.
All right. On page 16 of the daily graphic, we have ECG workers disrupting operations. So we know that the Public Utility Regulatory Workers Union, of the TUC, they have threatened to go on strike, and their members, we know, work with the utility and ECJ. So it's all because of we're going to have some level of privatization of the ECG. There'll be a concessionaire in place.
Yeah.
Do you think the actions of the workers are appropriate?
You see, I believe in using. They say that I haven't gone to too much school, but those who have gone to a lot of school, they say that there was a man called the Prince. It is said that the Prince said that the end must justify the means. I don't believe it is a truism at any time. When we live in a state, we must be governed by laws. That is why they talk about the rule of law. I don't believe in disruptions. I don't believe that if I disagree with you, I must disrupt your life. They said something on your news channel that was defamatory, that was against me. So, like Obinim did with Hot FM, then you go there with a crowbar and go and break it. That is lawlessness. That, for me, is lawlessness. I can sympathize to a very large extent with how things are going with the electricity company of Ghana.
You don't think those steps are the right direction?
Look, let me say that from my own political, philosophical underpinnings, I belong to a party that is supposed to be pro-business. I belong to a party that says that there must be minimal intervention of government in business. But I think that the challenge the electricity company of Ghana has with all the goings on is that there doesn't seem to be a lot of transparency and openness in what is going on. But I will also say that in spite of that, they have a right to protest. They even have a right to go to court. But I think that if what we are seeing, they shouldn't disrupt operations. It will be like Obinim taking a crowbar and going and break things.
You think they should do a lot more dialogue than just deciding, or they should resort to the courts?
Yeah, I think that there's recourse. They should go to court. If they have a good case, if they have a very
But we're too late in the day to be discussing non-privatization or things like that. For example, they want a clause put in there which will not limit the number of years for which
but you see,
the concessionaire...
My challenge with this is, all of these matters came up 1 year ago. Why didn't they put up this?
Perhaps they're waiting and seeing.
I have a challenge.
Okay.
I personally have a huge challenge. Why do we wait until we are almost at the signing stage?
What?
Maybe
You and MP, when are we signing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think that this compact and is long overdue.
It's been over a year, right?
I hear in the grapevine, I hear that the Americans are beginning to be very disturbed now, and I think that they have given limits. That if at a certain period there is no movement. But this is not, you see me, this is not the first time we are doing some of this thing in this country. And this is the second compact. Did you hear all of these things with the first compact?
We have to call it a morning for our discussions. Emmanuel
Roland
is a member of parliament for Ayawaso West Wogon constituency. We'll be having IB coming to do entertainment. Yes,
Roland,
yes.
Is this the first time we are having a compact signed in this country?
No.
Is it rocket science?
Not that I know of.
under MPP with President Kufuor.
That's politics.
That was
We're taking a break. When we come back,
Look
we'll have
at this one. Even signing, somebody wants to give you money.